Okoa Kenya or COD under Raila.
Or new ODM, is fresh ODM
or fresh ODM.
Yes.
Remains a formidable challenge. That is the only challenge the Jubilee wing would be having a meeting to strategize over. They bring in these others who are still having problems with their IDs or their vehicles are being shot at. Their vehicles are being shot at. Then it would be round 1 at 10 o'clock. Actually, Raila remains formidable. His major challenge basically would be age. That there comes a time, like Saito would have said, when the nation is more important than an individual. So you give way. That is the only issue. But those who I would have advised somebody like Magarer, live quietly so that you live with sympathy. So that we look back and say he was beaten up and then he was thrown out. But the way he's now spewing epithets, he has squandered even the sympathy. Baba is used to these things. He's used to all these insults and so on. And this is his party. It is him. He brought Magarer, as he said.
He also argues that what's not going to happen, because he knows his fate is sealed and done with as far as ODM goes. So he says, you know what's going to happen? That they're now not going to put in, that is ODM, Aluya as executive director. And this is to now conclusively block out Babuna Mwamba, who, according to him, if an open and free election was held, would by a landslide be the Secretary General. Now,
let me tell you, Ababu was winning that day.
Not today.
That day, they were sleeping under Baba. And what they didn't know is the Baba can go to any extent. So they were stopped. The day they were stopped, Ababu should have changed the script. It should have been his student, Senator Omar's student. You come down, you come even more closer to Baba, and you feel like, Baba, if this is the thing, I am ready even to leave. Then the trust grows, then he's put forward. But he had already grown horns. Baka Baba's supporters now feel, oh, kumbe, you had a different agenda. Remember, in the Raila's political history, they have suffered under the hands of the Secretary Generals. The late Martin Shikuku, God rest his soul in eternal peace, left with a certificate of the original Ford, thereby derailing and leading to the split of Ford. That explains why Professor Nyong'o, despite Raila Odinga being the party leader, is the Secretary General of ODM. Inside at home, so that even if he tries to be clever, we can force him in the village to toe the line. So Ababu got it wrong. You see Mheshimiwa Joho, he came back, came under Baba. So it may not surprise you that Joho may be given the seat he wanted. Ababu, let him come to Jubilee as quickly as possible. He may be more senior there than there. But on the other side, he could have us.
I think, I don't know what student is talking about. He says, Bobo should have been my student. You know what I know is that Raila, Orengo, Kalonzo, Wetangula are far more senior politicians than myself, even in terms of their professional standing. They are a bastion of knowledge, even sometimes when you sit with them for an hour and a half, just talking about so many general issues. So for me, I decided to use this opportunity also as a learning opportunity. So I spent a lot of time with these gentlemen and some of the women, so that I can just be able to know some of the intrigues, what happened at Fort Kenya at this point in time, what happened in 1992. You asked them any question, it almost replicates or relates to the situation as we are today. So but I'm a fierce also opponent internally. Internally, I do make my, when I rant, I will go to Upper Hill and tell the Prime Minister, this is what needs to be done, and that's my position, and this is our position. So they're channels, because I am young, I'm a year or two younger than Fidel. This is close to my father. There is also African virtues and values that guide us. So you don't necessarily all the time throw barbs at him. You know, I know there was a day somebody insulted Raila in Mombasa, and the entire crowd there was not about the insult to Raila. It immediately was a different issue. Yet some of the issues that he was saying might have been legitimate. So I think we also have to play to that gallery of the value system that guides this society. So I think we're all the time trying to insult Raila Odinga is not necessarily a virtue that we hold per se. So I think they should have used a strategy where they could have drawn from the legitimacy of Raila Odinga, the knowledge of Raila and his coalition leadership, and therefore then, in fact, also, I think in that very own, I can tell you this for free, the coalition itself is strategizing on rebranding, and about rebranding is about bringing in a more vibrant young leadership. Yeah, and I think these will have been the principal beneficiaries of that rebrand, because Ababu was this team, what was it called? There was a team that went around the election, the 5-6 people.
5 choppers.
Yeah, that is Ababu, Joho, Kingi, Mili, Margaret Wanjiru, I forgot its name, or Reloaded. There was the Reloaded, or something like that. So I think there was always a certain soft spot within that. But I totally agree. Let the elections be held today. I can tell you for a fact, within the ODM rank and file, Ababu will be lucky.
I doubt whether I will enter the stadium. I doubt that.
That picture which was taken.
That is my home. Those are my brothers. I've been with them all these years. I know. Whether I will enter the stadium.
You don't see that happening.
I don't see it. So and I will advise him and tell him, my brother, are you going to that stadium? Please don't go.
Do not. Don't dare.